All right.
Howdy, San Diego. Welcome to Wrangling Minds. I'm Xavier Zamarron,
I'm Brian Landeros.
and today's topic is going to be winning the offer.
Yep. It's summertime, guys. So a lot of offers are going to be going out. A lot of people are going to be hitting the markets. And this is exactly the mindset that you need to embody if you want to get your offer accepted this summer.
100%, especially right now. It's kind of like a weird market because there's not really that much competition, but there's still that extra push to winning that offer.
I agree 100%. There's less competition, but the demand is still there. And I feel as we progress into the year, more inventory comes out. That's going to bring a lot more competition. And that's where I feel that you need to separate yourself from other types of buyers because everybody's going to be coming at the offers like, hey, I want it at this price, I wanted this. But how do you differentiate yourself when you're submitting an offer, Xavier?
So it plays, there's multiple factors that play into winning the offer. Main one is, are there any other offers on the table right now? Who is my competition? Who am I trying to beat? And I feel like having that clear connection with the listing agent when you're on the buy
Yeah.
side, it's uh it it's mandatory. I mean, there's no other option. Like, if you want to win that offer, you have to communicate with the listing agent to know what position you are in.
100%. I feel the listing agent, the buyer's agent, and the lender all need to work in a team. And what I mean by that is that, yes, we all work individually for our client. But at the end of the day, if we don't all work together to strategize a way where everything is as seamless as possible so that the buyer can get what they want, the seller can walk away what they want, and the buyer and the lender and the listing agent all feel like they did their job for the client. I feel communication is even more important nowadays because even little things that don't get communicated or don't get communicated in a way that everyone understands could cause a lot of issues. For example, timelines, what the seller needs, adequate time for them to move out, and just certain details that make everybody know that, hey, these are the type of people we want to work with and they can get the ball done. I mean, the job done.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like going back to how we previously talked in our our last podcast, where the seller, or not the seller, the agent and lender relationship
Yeah.
is a make it or break it. Because essentially, even just having that good connection with between lender and agent could win you the offer.
Yep.
Because it shows to the selling side, like, hey, these two are obviously in clear connection. They're on the same page and they communicate. I feel like just real estate's like a funny business. It's like relationships.
It's 100%
You have to
relational.
communicate.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the hardest times to communicate is when, there's tough situations, tough information to convey. But I think that's when you really have to take ownership of, your job as a professional and get that information out. Now, one of the things that I have been noticing from offers that are going out and negotiations is that everything's on the table.
Oh,
Everything's on the table. Now, not everything's going to get given to you. Of course, not every negotiation might go your way, but you can ask for virtually anything that you want. And right now, what I am seeing is that these negotiations are getting as detailed as, paying for HOA up front, helping to pay down that insurance that a lot of people in California are getting burdened by. So little things like this and understanding, what the seller is looking for can help you strategize with your agent and with your lender to have a strong offer. And I feel right now it's not just offering the highest amount of, of purchase price or, not asking for credits, but it's understanding the situation and being able to connect with the seller and the listing agent and letting them know that, hey, like, I'm not trying to take advantage of the situation. I want it all to make sense for everybody.
100%. And I feel like if you have a good listing agent that communicates with their seller, because I'm pretty sure we've run into a couple of listing agents that you could submit an offer and they don't communicate that to their seller when they have to.
Yep.
It's their fiduciary duty.
100%.
And a lot of people don't even do that. And I feel like once you find a good listing agent that communicates that with their client and is able to present it the way you presented it to them, it's like, hey, like you said, I'm not trying to screw you over in this situation, but if your client's okay and they're winning, you're winning because you're closing a deal.
Yeah.
I'm winning because I get to help my clients out, and my clients are winning because they get to get whatever they may be asking for,
Yeah.
whether if it's seller credit, a rate buy down, or maybe a faster escrow. If everybody's winning, it's a no brainer. That's part of the reason, why I offer my clients, for example, if their house is dated, I offer them a program called Flip My Home Pros. I'm partnered with them, and they essentially come in, renovate your house, and we're able to list it at current market value. If not, we're able to beat the market too.
Like you were just saying, that client that has a house that's been on the market for what 170 days. Sometimes conveying a hard message to these sellers is what they need, and at first they might not take it the right way, but once it simmers in their mind and they think about it over a few days, they come to realize that hey, you're just trying to help, and I think positioning yourself in a way of helping the listing agent, the sellers, and your buyers ultimately opens up the doors for your offers to be more better looked at and have a higher chance of getting accepted. Now, one of the things I feel right now, if you're a buyer, thing that you can implement in your offers as you're shopping for houses is to be very flexible. Don't stick to one thing and hard stick to it, because chances are that the seller might have a different idea, and just because you're stuck on one thing, they might not agree with that, and there goes your offer.
100%.
So be flexible with what what the terms are, but at the same time, don't let yourself get walked all over. What I mean by that is that let them know up front what you're looking for, but also ask what they're looking for, and find a middle ground that allows you guys to both walk away with a good feeling that you guys got what you wanted, and not just pushed into a deal.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's way bigger than, for the buyer, it might be all they care about is they want to get a deal.
Yeah,
Like they want to get a deal for the house, they want to steal. But for the seller, it might just be, I just want to sell my house to a nice family.
yeah.
And is identifying those two factors too. Is like, okay, what is the seller looking for and what is the buyer looking for? And then just working as a team. Like I always say, this industry is very cutthroat, but I feel like we should all be on the same page, all be on the same team, because we all have the same mission. And if you bring those two together and you're a team with the listing side
Yeah.
as well, the deal's gonna get done. And that's how you can win the offer, just being able to communicate and work as a team.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel that, we as professionals, we really value our clients and what they need and what they want. But at times we can get in the way of what they want because of the fact that we feel that they need something else. And it's tough. I know that we're the professional at times, but I feel that we have to understand that our clients are very sensitive to certain situations that we're in when we're in escrow, so they don't know a lot of what's happening, and what might be normal to you might be completely strange, or a completely different language to the buyers or sellers.
100%. And I mean, from your experience, obviously lending and the realtor side, there's two big differences in that. But I'm kind of interested on hearing your end. Like what, from a lender's point of view, what could an agent do to win the offer?
So I feel what an agent could do to win the offer is be be someone that understands what both sides want, and be able to communicate what solutions or how you can convey that to happen. And don't be so critical on sticking to what you feel is right, but be open to feedback, be open to understanding what other realtors are saying, because chances are that everybody wants to transact, they just want to make sure that the trust is there and that you're able to get the job done. And I think that's the most critical thing. Are you able to get the job done? And listing agents take that very seriously, because they don't want to look like an idiot to their seller saying, I accepted an offer from a realtor that I didn't vet. The realtor didn't show me, that they were fully approved, that they didn't have all the ducks in line. And as a buyer's agent, come at it from a collaboration with the listing agent. Like, how can we both win? Instead of saying, hey, my client wants this, this is what they need, I need this to happen.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I 110% agree. Just because if I'm a listing agent, I want to make sure the buyer's agent is able to perform,
100%.
because that could put my listing at risk. That could put it's going to put my name on the line, especially with my client, because now there's going to be that sense of bad taste, and they're going to be on the edge.
Like, are you sure this guy's going to be good? You said that about last one.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So I feel like you hit the nail right on the head, because at least from my opinion, if I know the buyer's agent isn't going to be able to perform, I'm going to be like, they did submit this for where they're at. We could accept it if you want, but here are some red flags that I've learned to catch from my experience.
Yeah, like for example, like not sending proof of funds right away.
Oh,
Not sending a pre-approval right away, and then doubling down and actually sending a DU approval, which means that the buyer was actually thoroughly, ran through their credit, income was approved, and their assets have been verified as well. So doing all that really puts your buyer in a position where they're able to move quickly. They've been vetted, so they are approved and ready to move, and you can trust that they're going to be able to get the financing done because they've checked off all those boxes that need to be done. Now,
yeah.
now here's what I'm going to give a huge piece of advice to any buyers that are looking to get into the market this summer. You have to go get pre-approved. You have to go rip that band-aid off. You have to sit down, talk about the uncomfortable, and know where you stand. And right now is the perfect time not to buy if you're not ready, but to see where you're at, to test the waters and understand your situation, what the payments are going to be looking like, what out-of-pocket expenses you're going to incur, and then generate a plan or a steps of action to actually complete the goal that you want to do, whether buy a house, get ready to buy a house, or save up to buy that house or investment that you're looking for. Right now is the time to get ready, see what's out there, and prepare yourself because things move so quickly that if you're not already pre-approved, by the time you try to go get pre-approved and then go buy the house, that house is not there anymore.
Oh no, and I've seen that countless times, and it sucks. It's the worst feeling, and then that puts a bad taste in their mouth, and it discourages them from even taking that leap of faith. I mean, in my point of view, if I had to take a leap of faith to even see what I got pre-approved for, and then have to take another leap of faith after losing the house I actually wanted, I'd feel discouraged.
Which one's more discouraging? That you went and tried to buy the house and they said no, or that you went and tried to get approved for the house? They said, hey, you need to get this done before you can buy the house, or hey, you're good to go. Like you could buy this house comfortably. You almost have to prepare yourself to not put yourself in a bad situation if you want to win in real estate. Like you have to do the homework up front. You have to go and get ready. You have to know what you're getting yourself into because if you just jump right into it and say, hey, I want to get my offer accepted, let's go buy a house, you're in for a wake up call. And it could take months if you're not properly approved. You don't understand critically what the payments are, how things move, how interest rates fluctuate from day in and day out. That, you could hear that your buddy got a 2.5 3 years ago, and then now you look at rates and they're in the sixes. That's why it's critical for you to do your homework today and not take examples or, examples of other people that went through it as yours because everybody's situation is 100% different.
I Yeah, we have a saying. It's called buyers take or buyers are liar. Yeah, that one too. But buyers take about 6 months to catch
Yeah.
up with the market.
Yeah.
Just because whatever happened 6 months ago, like the neighbor across the street sold their house for $1.5 million, but that doesn't mean that in today's market that your house is going to sell for
A
a
lot
lot.
can happen in those 6 months, half a year.
Yeah, a lot, a lot.
So, on your end, bro, like as a realtor, what are some of the things that buyers are coming to you, and saying like, hey, like, is it a good time to buy right now? Should I be getting into the market? What are some of the concerns or doubts that you were hearing from buyers?
So we hit that topic. I do get a couple of buyers that are asking, is it really a good time to buy? Because the person at my job told me that it's not, and I kind of have to like, okay, take a step back. Yes and no. No, if you're not ready. Yes, if you are ready. What do I mean by that? If you're financially ready and you're okay with the rates, I mean, you can still negotiate a rate buy down. But if you're okay with that and you could financially and stably afford it, go for it.
Mhm.
And if you're not, then that's okay. We'll come up with a game plan. But I wouldn't let someone else try to, discourage you with that information. Now, another thing that I've had people hit me up about is I have too much debt.
That's an interesting one because I feel the way that people look at their debt, they look at it backwards. So they look at like, I'm carrying all this balance of debt.
Mm-hmm.
But what they don't know is that we actually take your monthly payments and not even your full payments that you might make more than the minimum. We take your minimum payments that are reflected on your credit, and that's what we utilize to go against your income, which is called your debt to income ratio. So
Yep.
that's that's how basically banks look at your income. How much money you make a month opposed to how much money goes out in bills a month. And then depending on what that comes out to be, you get a certain ratio. And that ratio is going to dictate if you're approved, how much you can approve, how much you can afford, and then what type of program falls for you.
Amen. Yeah. And that's how I essentially break it down. Like, okay, how much debt are you carrying? If they feel comfortable with telling me that amount, okay, I'll be like, okay, and how much do you pay a month towards that debt? Oh, only $150 a month. Like, it's worth giving it a shot. The worst they could say is what? No.
Or hey, we need this to be done. So
Yeah.
that's the main point I try to drive home of a pre-approval. It's not so that you can buy a house tomorrow. It's so that you know where you're at, where you stand, and if you're in the position of buy. And then from there you can make your decision.
Amen.
You know what I mean? It's like trying to make a decision when you don't have all the facts, but you're so certain about it, but you don't know. So it's like, how do you really know if you can buy if you haven't done the thing that really tells you, gives you the clarity of what you're actually approved for? And I think that's a tough pill for people to swallow, but I feel that more and more the want of wanting to buy is overcoming the fear of getting approved. And for anybody that's on the fence, don't be, because there's a lot of people in your situation that have taken that leap of faith, that have just sat down with the professional and said, hey, this is my situation. I'm scared of this, and that. And come to find out, a lot of those situations we've had in the past, we've provided solutions. And what I really encourage you to do is just meet with somebody that cares. And what I mean by that is that pay close attention to the questions that they're asking you. Are they asking you constructive questions that are saying, hey, what are you looking to do with your life? How's your goals in a couple of years? How's your income? Are you looking to do more? Are you looking to invest? Because chances are that they want to know if down the line buying a house is going to be a good decision for you. And not someone that's just trying to get their next deal by saying, yeah, it's a good time to buy. Yeah, it's a good time to buy. Commission breath. Now, if someone said it's a good time to buy, you should really consider that, because how do they know that?
Exactly.
They don't know your situation.
No, yeah, and kind of just to tie off the end, I mean, if any of you watching this and you're on the fence about getting pre-approved or seeing how much you even qualify for, please feel free to reach out to Brian. He's one of the most down to earth and one of the very few lenders I know that truly cares about the client and will stick their neck out for their client. And if you're looking to even start your home shopping process, feel free to reach out. I'll go ahead, tag our two Instagram handles here. And yeah, feel free to reach out. But thank you so much for watching, Brian.
Thank you,
it's
man.
always a pleasure.
Thank you. Appreciate it for the kind words. And yeah, like Xavier said, make a plan, execute it, but more importantly, have the right team behind you.
Amen.
Because winning likes having a winning team.
Yes, it's not about what you know; it's about who you know.
100%.
And if you know good people that will fight till the end with you, like for me, I don't look at it as they're my client; they're my teammate.
Yeah,
they're my teammate. Lender's my teammate, because we're all on the same team, and we have the same mission. Our mission is to win and make sure they are taken care of.
100%. And one last thing for me is that a team is made up of individuals that each have a special skill, and when you put those skills together, you're able to have a winning team, man. And I think that's the most important thing to having a good chemistry when you're partnering up with people in life, people in business, and people in relationships.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man.
No, appreciate you. Cheers, you guys. Have a good one.
Later, guys.